What's up, Honors? I'm Alex, back as always, and welcome back to another awesome video. For today's video, of course, I have an interesting topic which I'm going to try doing, where basically I looked across the internet to find the worst Halloween inflatables ever. For today here, I have a pretty good list of some terrible animatronics. Some of you might not exactly agree with me on these, but I do still feel like maybe the majority of you will agree. I don't know, I'll see what you say in the comments. But anyways, we've got some terrible inflatables here. I think most of them are actually like different brands than Gemmy, because Gemmy's pretty good at always making good inflatables. But usually lots of these other companies just throw together something random and cheaply make it. So anyways, let's get into the video and check out the first terrible inflatable I was able to find. Alright, so the first one here, the reason why I kind of hate this one is because it kind of feels like they threw a bunch of themes together and it just looks terrible. This right here, of course, is the Dinosaur with Witch inflatable, which is such a strange look inflatable. So basically look at this, the overall look of it. The main part of it is this skeleton dinosaur right here, which looks alright. The head looks a little bit strange, but I do like what they did with the bones for this, how it's like that green stuff. How they did that. Overall, the dinosaur part of this looks great. But then on top of the dinosaur, sitting on top of it for some reason, is a witch, which is so weird. Look at the witch here. She has this like weird expression on her face. And overall, it looks alright, but it's just so weird seeing this witch on top of this dinosaur. And then, of course, since it's Halloween, they decided to throw in a pumpkin to the one side of the dinosaur, which I guess Gemmy does that sometimes with inflatables. They just add a little pumpkin to the side to call it Halloween. But then they also put a tombstone to the other side of this inflatable, which is very strange. I feel like just the amount of weird stuff in this inflatable just makes it kind of suck. I feel like if it were just the dinosaur and the pumpkin, it would be a passable inflatable. Add in a tombstone to the one side and a witch on top is just so weird. I don't know how a witch and a dinosaur could go together well for inflatable. It just seems kind of weird. And then also to have a pumpkin and a tombstone, it's like two different themes, because on the one side of the dinosaur we got like this pumpkin patch, while on the other side we've got like a graveyard or something. It's just a terrible inflatable. It would have been better if they stuck to just one cohesive theme for this. So yeah, overall this inflatable is really terrible. And yeah, I hope no one ever bought this, because if I were to see this in person in someone's yard, I would feel very disappointed of that person. Anyways, moving on from this terrible one, we've got three different inflatables which we're going to check out. They're all tree-related ones. And some of these I feel like share the same problem with the one before, where there's just so much random stuff it doesn't follow a cohesive theme. And there's also some weird stuff about these inflatables too, so let's check them out. So the first one right here, we got a tree with some ghosts around it. We got some pumpkins and a tombstone. And yeah, of course, there's a bunch of random themes here. We got like the graveyard, and we've also got kind of like the pumpkin patch. But I think one of the weirdest things is if you look at the base of this inflatable, the pumpkin actually has his arm wrapped around the tree, which is really, really strange. This like really elongated arm, which just looks so strange. I don't know who made that design choice when designing this. His other arm is like this little short one, but his other arm stretches really long for some reason. It's just so weird, and I don't know. I don't really like how it looks like that. But yeah, then also, of course, with the theming it has of that like not really cohesive theming, has like the pumpkin patch with the pumpkins there, and then the graveyard with like the bat, the tombstone, the ghost. Just a lot of random themes that I don't think really work together. The tree itself, though, it does look alright. I like how they made like the branches, those arms there. So it's an alright inflatable. It's not the worst, but still pretty bad because of that like non-cohesive theming. And just that weird pumpkin arm there, that kind of sucks too. And the next tree inflatable here is another one with that not really cohesive theming. And this one right here, of course, is the tree archway, which look at this, there's a lot of stuff to look at. Look at the one side, we have a little pumpkin down there. Then, of course, we got the tree, which I like the face they went with it. But something I hate about some of these knockoff companies is where there's like a light in the inflatable, they add this like extra shine to it, which is just so weird. We've also got a ghost up here, and we got a bat. We got another ghost actually coming out of the tree. Then we've also got a tombstone there. So yeah, another one where like we got the pumpkin patch, we got the graveyard, just different theming. I also wish that like streamers that are hanging down would have went down farther. It kind of looks weird how they only cover the top there, because the point of having those on archways to kind of like block what's on the other side. So it would have been better if they actually put those streamers so they go all the way to the bottom. And also look at the top. I don't think that bat really fits into the theme of this inflatable. If looking around at everything else on this inflatable, it's all like this creepy stuff. Like the tree has this creepy expression, the ghost has this creepy expression, the pumpkin does. But then this bat up here, which is kind of like the centerpiece of this whole thing, is this like happy little bat. It would have been better if they also made that bat like spookier to kind of go along with it. It just doesn't really make sense to make the bat happy. But anyways, not the worst one I've ever seen, but still pretty bad inflatable. And of course, the next tree one here, another one that has a bunch of just random stuff on it, which is just so bad. And look at this tree right here. There's just so much stuff, so it's just crazy to go through this. But to the one side, we have a little pumpkin there. Then, of course, we have a witch in a cauldron. So, yeah, we have the pumpkin patch theme. Then we have this witch theme. Then look at the top. We got eyeballs on top of the tree for some reason. That's a little weird. Then, of course, we got ghosts flying around it, which I feel like most spooky trees, they always add ghosts for some reason. Then, of course, the tree itself. I think the really good things about each inflatables is the trees. They can make a really good tree inflatable, but then they pile a bunch of other stuff on and just kind of ruin it. But yeah, again, with this one, there's not really too well of cohesive theming because we have like pumpkins there, then we have this witch theme, but then the eyeballs up there, why would they add those onto the inflatable? I think that's a weird detail. Like, it just seems weird to have these eyeballs just resting on these branches. It's just so random, and it's not something I really like that they added. But overall, another just terrible tree inflatable, not really that good. And now that we have gotten done with those 3 terrible trees, let's move on to the clown archway, which this one, there isn't too much bad about it, but there's one detail that makes me just really hate this prop. So look at the inflatable here. It's basically this clown. It definitely gives me Spirit Halloween vibes because it kind of is replicating that clown archway that they had for the clown train, I believe, where it's this clown and you enter through his mouth. I like the hair details on this, the head and everything. But then what makes this just one of the stupidest things I ever saw is the placement of the hands on this. So looking at this, you can see 2 hands popping out just under his teeth there, which is just such a terrible location for them to have actually put these hands, because it doesn't really make sense because they're kind of like coming out the side of his mouth. Like I've seen other clown archways, which if they add hands, they come to the base of the inflatable, kind of like away from where the mouth is or like where the bottom of the mouth would be. But this one, they decided to put it where it's like coming out of the side of the mouth, which is just so random, and it just makes the prop look so stupid. And when I actually clicked on this, there's a bunch of other recommended archways, which did look pretty sick, where it's kind of like the same idea where you walk through a clown's mouth. This one right here, they did such a terrible job where like the hands are coming out of the mouth, whatever, just a terrible inflatable. Anyways, that was 5 inflatables I found on the internet that really just suck and are kind of terrible. Of course, if you disagree with me on any of these, I'd like to hear your opinion down below, because I'm curious if any of you like these inflatables that I just really hate. Or if you hate them too, you can also comment like why you hate them or other comments about these inflatables. Because I think they suck. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Just comment your opinion on these. But anyways, also comment down below if you enjoyed this video, because this is kind of like a newer style video I'm trying out. And maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. I just want to find out if you actually like it, and maybe I'll do a part 2 in the future. But anyways, it was really fun. Check out these terrible inflatables. And I'll see you all in the next video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Goodbye.